All right. Hello, everyone, and now welcome to a game between WFZ versus Focus. The population tab does not work, but that's okay because I have observers and that means I can click on the players and see what their supply is, as long as they're not building or training anything. Anyways, let's go ahead and break things down in this 1v1 matchup. On the top right hand side of the map, we have Focus spawning as the blue orc, going up against WFZ, spawning as well the red undead. Undead versus Orc in this 1v1 matchup. And, well, as you guys can tell, this is the NetEase Esports X tournament for spring 2020, as things are already getting underway. Strategies and games, really there has been just a rebirth and interest in WarCraft 3, some good and some bad, as well. Reforged didn't quite get the launch that anyone was really hoping for. I'm sure that is a understatement of the century for many of you guys out there, but in the end there is a lot more energy, directive, and focus on WarCraft 3 overall. So let's hope that all of this energy can be used, and, well, if the viewers are there and the tournaments are still being played, maybe the dream of having Arya actually co-cast with me will come to fruition one day. Now, oh, what is going on over here? Give me 1 second. I think I need to lower that. There we go. There we go. All right, acolytes now making the way. Ooch, am I first? Well, you are the first person to talk today, and considering that YouTube will obviously be hours behind you, yes, you can claim first. Dren 3. Acolyte gonna make its way out. It's gonna spot, well, a Blade Master soon to be coming out of Voodoo Lounge, and it looks like, well, Focus is just gonna try and upgrade the tier 2 at about 20 supply. No additional orc burrows. There is that one particular acolyte. Acolyte just really wanted to see what the hero choice was going to be. Meanwhile, Death Knight now wandering around here, going to clear out this null warding creep camp, come in from the back, engage, exposing the back of that null warden to, well, the bonus damage from those skeletal minions. Damage still getting added in across over here. Death Knight actually purposely pulling back just a little bit to take a little bit less damage. Not quite sure why, as the skeletal minions will still be useful to take on the Ice Troll. Okay, no surprise, Blade Master versus Death Knight. No, and generally when there is a lot more on the line in terms of tournaments, you generally just see much more traditional and standard styles of play. No one's really trying to experiment, and because of this, because this is from the tournament, the NetEase Esports X tournament, that's happening, I believe, right around now, actually. No one wants to, well, be the one that tries to do a tavern hero with undead out of the gate. It doesn't generally work out nearly as well as you would hope. And your opponent, who has a much stronger, better strategy, generally just comes out a little bit stronger, just because so many strategies have been tested. After time, if a new strategy does come out to be successful in the ladder, then players may actually be practicing it enough, and then it almost becomes standard by the time it goes into a tournament. So that just seems to be the case. Acolyte, oh, is it going to be able to throw itself on any of those units? And it gets taken down right there. Blade Master now going after that Ice Troll Priest, will be able to finish it off, and while going after the Ogre Magi here as well, splitting up that damage. However, a Death Knight now making its way over. Death Knight quickly sees that it's an illusion. No, wait, gonna go ahead. Oh, the illusion even has a Cloak of Shadows. How interesting. Did not realize you could use all of the abilities right there. An illusionary Cloak of Shadows standing right there, and then the Blade Master says, wait a second. There's the Death Knight with the Wand of Illusion. Oh, what a big surprise there. Death Knight still wandering around. Gonna go ahead and wake up the creeps. Gonna go ahead and just use that illusion once again. Interesting. You can actually stand in the same spot as an illusion. If it is shadow melded with a Blade Master. I guess you can't really push an invisible unit. I'm not quite sure how that worked out all there, or the physics there. We'll see what's going to end up happening. All right, Death Knight now makes its way back over. Death Knight making its way off over here as well. Where are all of the units trying to run off to? Unable to spot the Blade Master, since it is blue on a map that has a large amount of ice. Death Knight Look, or Death Knight chasing after the Blade Master. Blade Master having a, well, Peer Up to Vitality, not going to be in danger of falling anytime soon. And I think that's one of the least things you want to see on that Blade Master. Survivability items, but more importantly, seeing an early Peer Up to Vitality, it often makes it very difficult to judge how much hit points is actually left on that unit. Pastor Dave, good morning. Going to go in and pick up some extra items there. Nope, not quite yet. Dropped from the Ogre Magi. Death Knight should be able to get to level 3 or be very close to it after this Ogre Magi falls. Gets to it, picks up a potion of invulnerability, and now has level 2 Death Coil at his disposal. Meanwhile, Focus now using 3 grunts, clearing out creep camps off to the side, as we are now already teching to tier 3 and getting that Shadow Hunter. Blade Master is going to find anything here. Grunt can take a bit of damage. Death Knight going to try to get in front of that Grunt. If it gets in front of that Grunt, gets a couple of easy shots from those Crypt Fiends, that might be the end of it. One more shot. There it goes. Oh, a beautiful Hex just in time. You saw the Frostmourne or whatever rune blade the Death Knight was about to raise and try and launch a Death Coil, only to see it get caught mid animation. Good morning, Crota, but here it's 9:40 p.m. Well, thank you for the well wishes. Thank you. What is that? Is that part of Asia? I would say what, Philippines or Taiwan? Definitely not China, because I don't think Twitch is allowed to be streamed in China. Anyways, back across here, Blade Master gonna go ahead and try and get some damage. Blade Master running back and forth. Ghouls are just wandering around here. Blade Master does have a Sobi Mask, Circuit of Nobility, and what you're gonna see is this little game of ring around the haunted gold mine. The problem here is that the Blade Master is constantly just being slowed, and what these acolytes can do is they can just move across here and then come. Oh, let's see. We're going to see a Dust of Appearance. Yes, Blade Master, Death Knight. We saw, well, some Nerubian Tower slows, but the Blade Master with that Peer Up to Vitality, very well protected, and the Lich without Frost Nova, as it only has access to Frost Armor, unable to nuke it down. Shadow Hunter sitting at level 2, going to continue to clear out some creep camps, try to get higher up in level. Meanwhile, Death Knight trying to pretty much do the same exact thing. Philippines. All right, Philippines. Capital is Manila. Yes, I remember my 7th grade geography, unless it's changed since then, but I'm pretty sure it hasn't. Meanwhile, Lich down across over here, clearing out the trackers. Death Knight could go for perhaps a reveal right here. There's a quick kill, wanting to pick up those Claws of Attack +9. Big item given now over to that Lich. That Lich getting in a lot more damage per attack. And with that range bonus, well, all is good. Back across over on the other side, Shadow Hunter sitting at 2. Blade Master sitting at level 3. As we're looking at the Blade Master using some, well, regenerative items, waiting to move on out. Now we are sitting at a level at tier 3. We are going for an Ultra of Storms. Tauren Chieftain is about to make its way out, and the War Mill is just now getting constructed. All right, and maybe perhaps a shift in the meta. Oftentimes before, there was the balance change allowing fortified armors. From tier 2, you often saw undead trying to push the orc and get in some orc burrow and destruction before they really got to tier 3. Now that there is the option for the opponent to get a fortified armor just at tier 2, the timing on that attack is all wrong, so it isn't really beneficial for the, say, an undead player to even try and go for that particular strategy, as your opponent may have naturally countered it already in their normal builds. Hey, units now making their way back down. Blade Master once again going after units. You can see a purge. Oh, there is a critical strike. Down goes that ghoul. Blade Master having a lot of strength. Oh, there's that Dust of Appearance. I'm going to see a Frost Nova there. You are some damage, but the Blade Master will be able to slip away. Double Circlets of Nobility, Peer Up to Vitality, Orb of Lightning, Sobi Mask, and that Slippers of Agility, all, well, making that Blade Master very difficult to kill. But in the same time, in the same breath, he doesn't have room for a Potion of Invulnerability unless he sells one of the items like he did just now. All right, Blade Master going to wander around again. We're looking at WFZ going after more creep camps as well. I don't know if we're going for a third hero. Yes, we are. It is going to be a Pit Lord. and the Pit Lord just got turned into a rabbit and ensnared. All right, there's that Howl of Terror coming across, getting damage across all of those units. Units going to try to make their way and save it. There's a big Death Coil to try and heal. Are we going to get a Frost Armor onto the Pit Lord and trying to, well, take down a Pit Lord who has 400 hit point heals every couple of seconds and Frost Armor and Howl of Terror? Well, it just seems like a way to take a lot of damage on your army. All right, Pit Lord at level 1 with 6 armor and a reducing attack, also powerful. Meanwhile, the Blade Master of Focus continuing to just take down ghoul after ghoul as the Blade Master now looks to back up again. Tauren Chieftain sitting at level 1 most likely has Stomp. We are looking at 3 Crypt Fiends and only 2 Obsidian Statues. The armies overall 45 supply going up against 50. Is very hero centric. Both sides have 3 heroes, and we're looking at the engagement now going down. All right, are we going to see some Frost Armor? Yes, Frost Armor number 1, Blade Master, Howl of Terror coming back across. There's a Stomp. The Obsidian Statue, is it going to be able to make its way back out? No, it is not. It gets taken down. Obsidian Statue number 2 is still alive for now, but the creeps are really starting to join in on this fight, trying to devour magic, trying to take down some more units. There is a there goes an ensnare as well, as both sides are continuing to fight here. Destroyer could get taken down. It gets taken down. Blade Master gets up to level 4. Death Knight 3-2-1 going up against 4-3-2 as the Orc does have a little bit of an advantage, but the units are retreating now, and it looks like a Grunt will get taken down. Blade Master trying to fight against all of these units as the Blade Master now looking to shift away. All right, Undead really losing out a lot there. Now sitting at 44 supply even after retraining 1 unit, compared to, well, I guess both sides lost a large number of units. Their Obsidian Statues, however, being the first to go means that this army overall really needs to wait before it can join in on any sort of fights. All right, Pit Lord gonna go ahead and finish off the Trapper and that Ice Troll Lord here. We are now sitting at 4-3-2 as well for the Undead. So the heroes are the hero levels have, well, really been balanced again, as we are looking at a 4-3-2 Tauren Chieftain. However, the Shadow Hunter being able to get that pocket Great Hall really going to open up an expansion here, as, well, WFZ will be forced to make a decision. Attempt to set up an expansion of his own, or try and shut down this expansion as it's being built. And it looks like, well, the timing on that expansion was just good enough for the undead to know, you know what, he is right there. But he's playing a little, is he playing a little bit of a mind game? Let's take a look. The Tauren Chieftain Shadowhunter purposely staying nearby the expansion, saying, you know what, he's probably going to attack my expansion very, very soon. Instead, what we're looking at is the Obsidian Statue, I believe, providing mana and hit points, healing back up with those healing wards, and he's going to come back with a stronger army. Double replenishment potion on the Death Knight as the units are now making their way through. However, an Obsidian Statue going to get caught in transit again as the Blade Master lucks out there. All right, army now making their way over, and having a Blade Master sit outside your opponent's base is a good way of, well, deducing where your opponent is. Oftentimes, units are naturally rallied to the army, so you can see the direction that they are going. All right, gonna go ahead and try and engage here. Obsidian Statue turns into a Destroyer all the way in the back line. There's a giant Stomp. Tauren Chieftain sitting at level 2. Damage coming through. There's a Death Coil as well. Units are fighting every which way. Frost Nova attempting to take down the Berserkers as the Destroyer is still up over here trying to get in some damage. There goes the Shadow Hunter. Shadow Hunter gets taken down. And with the Shadow Hunter down, well, what's going to happen next? Death Knight continuing to try and fight and engage Kodo Beast. Going to get Frost Nova and slowed as well. Shadow Hunter falls at level 3. There goes the Destroyer, as we're still looking at more units trying to fight and engage. A beautiful Death Coil at the last moment, as we're going to be seeing, well, a Berserker perhaps get taken down. Death Knight, there's another burrow, but not going to be in time this time around, as this one Crypt Fiend going to burrow in time. No, not burrowed in time. Is there Dust of Appearance? It really feels like that, well, no, there must be something revealing everything here. I just don't see the ward at all, as the Lich is continuing to fight and battle it up. All right, Berserkers trying to go after all of those units here. Well, Potion of Invulnerability finally on the Lich being used. Obsidian Statue purposely trying to wander around here as the Death Knight and all the units are just going to try to continue to engage. Let's take a look at this Death Knight. Oh, are we going to drop a healing ward? There he goes after that Obsidian Statue. Obsidian Statue down to 113 as a Potion of Lesser Invulnerability being used finally. All right, Obsidian Statue going to go ahead in a dying blow right there, but there goes a Grunt as well. 4-3-3 going up against Well, 4, 3, 2, and there is another ward right there. Let's take a look at that damage just getting added up, and down it goes. That Crypt Fiend knew it couldn't unburrow either. Meanwhile, the Pit Lord getting in some major damage across all of these units. Crypt Fiends and all of the units should actually be rallied back inside your base right now. You don't want to lose any more units in transit, and that Obsidian statue, as you saw, was almost taken down. Now, 3 heroes trying to take down this Great Hall. Not going to work out very well. Shadow Hunter back out onto the field. Obsidian statue is there. Death Knight does have some mana, as I believe he used potions of replenishment. There's a Death Coil right there trying to save again, as the damage is still adding back up. Death Knight, does it have enough mana again? That is the big question. Yes, does have enough mana for another Death Coil. There it is. There it goes down as the units are trying to make their way back out. Damage is still adding back up here as the Shadow Hunter back out onto the field, making a very big impact already, healing and keeping all of these units alive. Shadow Hunter with that pendant as the Destroyer now goes up into the air, and what's going to start devouring magic and then joining in on the fight. Tauren Chieftain now trying to back away. Lich still trying to engage here. There's a healing ward in the back, so the Tauren Chieftain now needs to make its way back over there and then purposely attack it, as the Death Knight going to continue to engage back again. All right, there goes a big stomp onto the Lich. Death Knight still low on mana, but that Obsidian statue is there to try and help. Howl of Terror is going to try and engage again. Units are just going back and forth. Frost Armor onto the Obsidian statue, not in time, as we're looking at, there goes one, well, Spirit Walker continuing to fight through. This has been a long battle. Are we going to see? No, finally, there's a dust of appearance. It looks like, yes, that is going to end up getting taken down. Crypt Fiend trying to stay alive. The Healing Ward not going to need enough. Blade Master continuing to engage. Destroyer trying to back up, but the Blade Master finally losing that Potion of Lesser Invulnerability. Death Knight going after the Blade Master again, not unable to do so, as the units are just camping inside the gold mine line of focus, getting a little bit of experience, and also, well, trying to add in that damage as well. 40 over 60 supply compared to 49 over 60. WFZ taking a bit of a lead now, as the game still rages, goes on. 1-0 upgrades, 2-0 if you consider the war drums and damage bonus, essentially. Meanwhile, back down across here, the Blade Master going to get ready to engage here in just a moment. There goes the Great Hall, and the economic advantage is now gone. Death Knight, however, rather low on items. Good morning. How are you doing? I am doing as well as can be, as the Pit Lord now going to try and engage. Are we going to see a Howl of Terror? There it goes. Big howl across all of those units. Major damage debuff there. Meanwhile, ensnare onto the Destroyer. As you can see, the Berserkers are trying to focus down that Destroyer there. Are we going to see a Death Coil onto that Destroyer? Destroyer just smartly backs up. Meanwhile, Kodo Beast does have a Crypt Fiend in the belly, as the units are going to try to engage again. All right, the lines are just all over the place right now, and this is actually bad news. There is massive retreat. There goes for that Crypt Fiend, trying to save that one particular unit. There's a Devour Magic. Death Knight going to try and engage. Scroll of Town Portal now given over, as the Orb of Lightning Purge actually causes problems right there. And, well, able to teleport back. More units now heading back as well. And I think Focus actually won that last scuffle just a little bit, forcing the Scroll of Town Portal and taking down multiple units, as new Crypt Fiends and new units are being trained back up. New Kodo Beast getting trained up there, so 43 supply compared to 47, but both sides still training up units as well. All right, Pit Lord now making its way over. Lich is at 4. Death Knight is at 4. Almost is at 5. Are we going to go after? Oh, I'm going to try to pull the Magnetar Reaver. You can see the one Ogre Warrior there. Unit's going to try to make their way over, as we may see a stomp. Oh, unlucky play right there, as we're going to see the Tauren Chieftain get right in there and then stomps Obsidian Statue, able to get away, but a complete surrounded stomp, and gonna shut down much damage for quite a bit of time. Obsidian Statue still trying to roll back. Blade Master still right there. There's one Obsidian Statue down to 13 hit points. It gets taken down. This one Obsidian Statue, just being held together by paper clips, is still healing this army, as the Berserkers are trying to get any damage through. Kodo Beast, Crypt Fiend able to duck away from the bite of a Kodo right there, as the battle's still raging on. Kodo Beast now trying to engage here, but it's not going to last for very long. 1 or 2 more shots, and I believe a Death Coil might be, Healing Wave. Death Coil not used to take down the Kodo Beast, as the Kodo Beast is alive at 117 hit points. All right, Dine and Dash. Berserkers, however, no longer getting any sort of damage bonus. There goes another Crypt Fiend, and Focus looks like he's starting to take this battle again. Constant changes in between leads so far. Units trying to make their way through. Obsidian statue trying to back up once more. There goes another Kodo beast. Is it going to be able to get away? No. There's that death coil that we were expecting earlier, as the Death Knight now continuing to engage here. All right, Death Knight does not have that much mana, trying to go after all of those units. Frost armor onto the Lich. Blade Master could try and engage. Tauren Chieftain is right there. We could see a Howl of Terror being come across, as well as the Tauren Chieftain going to try to go after that Lich. Death Knight should have enough mana now. Well, has it now, as the Lich is still trying to back away. Is one Crypt Fiend going to get taken down? Yes, it will. Level 5 now on the Blade Master. There's that death coil that we were expecting, as still both sides are fighting their way through. All right, a 600 hit point eel onto that Lich, pretty much bringing it back up to full life, as the Goblin Zeppelin of Focus is going to be able to pick up any low hit point units, forcing WFZ to retreat back. 40 over 60 supply compared to 44 over 50. It could just be the fact that the Berserkers are only 2 supply units, and making the army look significantly wider. 23 to 27 compared to 27 to 37. So the Crypt Fiends are worth more per unit, as the Tauren Chieftain tries to dive away. All right, Scroll of Healing is on that Lich. The Blade Master trying to dive away again, as the units are fighting with their back right against the shop, allowing for, well, only a frontline engagement. So far, Goblin Zeppelin, is it going to get webbed down? We don't see a web down there. Negative armor coming across. There's the web, and this Goblin Zeppelin, which looked like such a good play earlier, all of a sudden not as good at all. Did you know when Goblin Zeppelin is webbed down and units die, they are not dizzy, since they're not falling out of the sky? Paper clips, well, I don't know. All right, coming back through. Should I have said staples? All right, Obsidian statues now making their way back here. Focus losing a good amount of supply there, 4 supply worth of units, and that Goblin Zeppelin. Goblin Zeppelins do not give experience, I believe, but losing those 4 supply really changes things. Maximum Odin, thank you for the follow, as we're looking at the Pit Lord and Death Knight and Lich. 5-4-4 on the Death Knight first, going up against the Blade Master, who is 5. Well, we have a switch in the hero lead. So it was Orc leading, and now it is Focus. No, it was Orc leading, now it is Undead, as we're looking at a manual tome of knowledge being left behind here. All the units now trying to retreat back. We're going to try to go for an engagement. Blade Master overruns everything, as we're looking at the Obsidian statue. It could get focused down here. There's a healing wave to try and save it. Tauren Chieftain could try to go after. There's a death coil onto the Destroyer, as this Obsidian statue will get taken down. A giant bullseye on the Obsidian statues there, as they are so important, as Kodo Beasts are now joining in on the fight to even add a little bit more damage to those Berserkers. Frost Nova finishes off a Raider right there. Scroll of Speed now chasing back. Focus may actually be able to come out ahead here. Crypt Fiend trying to stay alive as long as possible, and it looks like it is going to burrow in time. A little bit of a lucky break right there. Tauren Chieftain doesn't have enough mana, as the Destroyers, Destroyers are still trying to eat their way through. Berserkers going after those Crypt Fiends. Crypt Fiends are burrowing. Destroyer up in the air. What can it really do right now, as a 236 critical strike finishes off one Crypt Fiend there? Damage still running their way through. Shadow Hunter only needs level 3 if all you want is level 2 healing wave, and level 2 healing wave doing a lot of work there, as the Berserkers now constantly under duress of the Howl of Terror, but not quite enough. All right, coming back through. 42 over 60 supply compared to 46 over 50. There is a mad race. The Destroyer Death Knight looks like it's going to finish off. It get finished off and lose that Lich. And WFZ with the higher score, losing to Focus in this 1v1 match. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it right there. There was a number of hero lead changes going back and forth, but in the end, it ends up being Focus being able to take down the heroes and keep his units alive and well. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it.